Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to focus on two important concepts: transport across cell membrane and cell signaling. Understanding these topics is essential because they explain how cells exchange substances with their environment and communicate with another to maintain normal body functions. The cell membrane, also known as the plasma membrane, surrounds every cell and acts as selective barrier. It performs two important functions. First, it prevents the cell's internal substances from leaking out. Second, it allows the controlled movement of essential nutrients, water, gases, and waste products into and out of the cells. The transport of substances across the membrane occurs through different mechanisms such as diffusion, osmosis, and active transport. There are two major types of membrane transport, that is passive transport and active transport. Passive transport does not require cell energy because substances move naturally from an area of higher concentration to an area of lower concentration. The three main types of passive transports are simple diffusion, facilitated diffusion, and osmosis. Diffusion is the spontaneous movement of molecules from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration until equilibrium is reached. Simple diffusion occurs without the help of transport proteins. Small molecules such as oxygen, carbon dioxide, and ethanol pass directly through the plasma membrane. Facilitated diffusion, on the other hand, requires specific carrier or channel proteins called permeases. Although proteins assist in transport, no ATP is required because molecules still move down their concentration gradient. Facilitated diffusion is highly specific, has a maximum transport rate, and is much faster than simple diffusion. Osmosis is the movement of water molecules through a selectively permeable membrane from a region of higher water concentration to a region of lower water concentration. Active transport differs from passive transport because it requires energy in the form of ATP. It moves substances against the concentration gradient from a lower concentration to a higher concentration. Example includes the transport of glucose, amino acids, and ions in the channels of the small intestine and root air cells. This diagram summarizes the different mechanism of transport across cell membrane. Notice how simple diffusion, facilitated diffusion, and osmosis are examples of passive transport because they do not require energy. In contrast, active transport uses ATP to move substances against their concentration gradient with the help of transport proteins. This comparison helps us understand when energy is required and when molecules move naturally. Now, let us move on to cell signaling. Cell signaling is the process through which cells communicate with each other and respond to changes in their environment. This communication is essential for growth, development, immunity, and maintaining normal body functions. Cell signaling can occur between different cells, known as intercellular signaling, or within the same cell, known as intracellular signaling. Signaling molecules bind to specific receptors and trigger appropriate biological responses. There are five major types of cell signaling. Intracrine signaling occurs when the signaling molecule acts within the cells. Autocrine signaling occurs when a cell releases a signal that acts on itself. Juxtacrine signaling requires direct contact between adjacent cells. Paracrine signaling affects nearby cells through local signaling molecules such as neurotransmitters. Finally, endocrine signaling involves hormones traveling through bloodstream to act on distant target cells. Cell signaling occurs in three main stages: The first stage is reception, where a signaling molecule binds to a specific receptor on or inside the target cell. The second stage is signal transduction, where the received signal is converted into intracellular chemical messages through a series of biochemical reactions. The final stage is cellular response, where the cell produces specific response such as gene expression, enzyme activation, secretion, or cell division. With this, we conclude this session on transport across the cell membrane and cell signaling. Thank you for your attention.